I call it
Uh-oh.
the choice. I'm just joking. I'm just joking tonight. So, we're gonna see if this works. I was telling one of my friends in the back, I think we were having a discussion yesterday. What's your name, Doc? Bird. I was talking to him, he said, man, for years, man, I've been working with a lot of pastors and stuff, but man, I think I'm going to the corporate world. I said, well, you ready to make some money now? See, a lot of things we try to develop, but we think that our customers are the church. Our customers not the church. The worship page. You're used to giving away so much. What am I talking about? This? You used to giving away so much stuff free in the church, and then when you create your own, you think you can give that away for free too. No, that's how you make your money. Most pastors are broke because you only think about my wealth in the church. That's not what you're supposed to have your wealthy place is. You should develop your wealthy place outside the church so that when you teach, you can teach and not care if people leave and take their tithes with them. I don't care. My wife hates when I say that, but I'll be for real. You can leave, because if you leave and you take your tithe, I'm still going to feed my family. I can tell you the truth. Okay? So let's see if we get this thing to work. So before we get going, I just want to know, what do you all do outside the church? What's your profession? What do you get paid for?
A nurse.
You're a nurse. Very good. Who else?
Claims analyst.
What type of claims?
Medicaid claims.
Medicaid claims. Gotcha.
Bill forklift.
You build forklifts. Wow. That's a business itself. We gotta talk. You build it, you work for somebody to do this? Okay. All right. What do you about yourself?
I own a salon. I'm a
Very good.
hairstylist.
I can tell. You rock in a purple world. All right. Who else?
501c3.
You develop 501(c)(3)? So you know how to write grants too as well?
No. I
Not
mean,
yet.
I know how, but I don't.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
You
we need
set up a
that.
corporation for 501(c)(3). You set up a corporation for the 501?
No, I just do it as doing business as Cynthia.
Okay. All right, excellent. We gotta talk. I know what you do. You all over everywhere. Go ahead and explain. I know you're born to explain. Go ahead and explain. What do you do again?
Well, I look for leaders that need a partnering strategist to help them fully embrace the transformative power that's within them so that I can implement solutions to achieve their goals, dreams, and aspirations.
Okay, perfect. Love it.
Maintenance,
Maintenance? What type of maintenance?
building maintenance.
Building maintenance?
Electrical.
Gotcha. Anything break down, you the man they call. Gotcha.
Yeah, we do.
My finger
Well,
These
even your eyes.
Right.
football fingers, so I got jammed a whole lot, so it's probably go right straight up here over here.
No, I'm a doctor, clinical psychologist, and orthopedic specialist.
Really? So you gonna be trying to read me the whole time I talk about it?
Definitely.
Okay, very good. I'm the same way. No, I like that. Very good. Excellent. So you do this on practice, or you work for
I
someone?
have my own practice, and I also am one of the on the executive team for a company as well, on the executive leadership.
What, executive leaders for what type of business? For what industry? So in the medical?
Yes.
Very good. Excellent. Love it. What about you all? I don't, what you do in the background, man? He was ready to get out here last night, boy. He was ready to get, he looked tired, now look at him. He looked tired now.
No energy.
No energy, go ahead.
I own a luxury black car service.
Say that again?
A luxury black car service.
A luxury black car service of transportation? Very good. Okay, I need you, man. I'm hiring somebody else. I go somewhere every week. I have a driver that's been with me for about a year and a half, but I need some people that look like myself. So we're gonna have to talk. What type of cars do you have? What's your fleet?
We got an Escalade, we got a Suburban, Tahoe, Sprinter van.
Okay.
So you never know what's in the room.
What's in the room? That's good.
We have guests and we use another service that's been driving me around for years to pick up all of our guests. So now we know, now we stay on the side of town, you need a passport to come over here. They took me like forever to get here yesterday. I said, Grant, I love you, man. What? I'm gonna fly over here next time. But no, we gotta talk, man. Because we have guests, how many pastors have guests that come in town? Okay? So we should be using that one service.
Or either family. Yeah,
family.
family.
Cause it takes us an hour to get from the airport to our home, and so I'm not driving back and forth to pick up all these guests. We hire drivers, or they hire drivers to pick them up and to bring them to us and to take them back.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And I guess I think we know what you do. You did an awesome job last night too.
Yes.
I think- No, but I just wanna say thank you for being you. You can explain, but I'm gonna give you this. I think you need to offer and advertise a maintenance service for pastors more. Because that's what's needed. When you said maintenance, I was like, we don't have issues, but we can have maintenance issues.
Yeah.
Right? Because we shifting now, learning how to be empty nesters, so that's a shift. So we have a maintenance plan for that, right? So I think you need to offer that, if you don't already offer it. Okay, now you can explain.
Well, I am, the founder of my, practice, which is Think and Live Well Counseling Services. But under Think and Live Well LLC is, Innovative Learn Academy, where I do educational courses, all the educational courses, because I'm a level 2, CEU provider. And, just pretty much, I do a lot of courses and training. I'm actually right now, training, Harris County judges and clerks.
Wow, very good.
Harris County, curriculum.
Very good, awesome. What is a level 2 CEU, what is that?
Continuing education.
Very good, okay. Very good, I love it. That's awesome, yeah, we gotta blow you up. Yeah, for sure, that's needed for sure, definitely.
Can I ask something? She also does business classes for people that are starting businesses,
Okay.
how to get the business started, awesome classes.
Okay.
That's my most popular, my business master class.
Very good, I love it. We gotta talk, I think we do some of the same similar things, but in a different way. So we gotta talk more, all right? Thank you for sharing. What about yourself?
Educator, I teach seminary, at the School of Law,
Okay,
and I'm also a professor.
very good. Love it, okay. You have a leadership academy, okay, what is that?
Holden County Leadership Academy,
Okay,
training and equipping leaders.
okay. Very good, all right, what else?
Okay, so formerly I worked for the FBI undercover
Hey.
for over 20 years.
Okay,
And,
that's why you quiet back there, you check.
and I'm trying to start from going back into that
Okay.
and investigation, because I've stepped out and opened up life insurance, and because I found a need that a lot of our people of color do not prepare for death. And so I've walked into that, trying to launch that business through Apostle Johnson and Pastor Brand and others that's in the room that's trying to work with me on that. So I'm looking into trying to do that or go back into law enforcement, because I was there for 20 years and it's like, in me, it's kind of hard for me to separate it. But, I found the need that black people and colored people, especially my people, they're not ready to die, and they leave the burdens on their families. And then a lot of them don't have health care, like Apostle said, that she's a nurse. And so, I'm looking into that, and I wanna open it up, so I'm just kind of searching my way right now on where I'm going, so I'm in between limbo right now.
Well, you're in the right room.
And the bad part about it, most people, like in the hospital I work in, mostly Caucasian, but where I work at, in our hospital, they don't even take them, they don't have insurance.
Right,
They have to be for approved to come into our care.
It's a business, they want to make money.
that's right.
Business. Very good,
And my husband, he's a sergeant, he's a police.
really. We need more of them in that field for sure. I love it, okay? Did I cover you too? Yes. Retired.
That's my life.
What you used to do?
I work at a chemical plant.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, you're a full-time pastor for 2 churches, so when I don't do, when I'm going out the country, you take care of the church.
Yeah, very good. I love it, man. I love it, all right? Did I miss anyone? All right,
Let my wife go first and I'll do last.
all right.
So the question is, I forgot who.
What do you do outside of church?
Oh,
Professionally?
outside the church. Okay, so I am the owner of Vanessa we're switching over, we were talking to, Pastor Cynthia over there about, you know, which is the best way to go. But what we did was we incorporated it under Life Community Church for now, because we had to do something quick to get it stabilized. Okay, and that's another story for another day. But that's obvious.
You know I wanna fuss at you, but I'm gonna leave you alone. Go
Okay.
ahead.
But, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a registered nurse. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, outside of the church, I'm a registered nurse. I am the director of care coordination at St. Louis Hospital in Sugar Land, Texas. And that's enough right there.
All right, good. I love it.
Okay. Military retired, administration in the military, and once I got out, I became a sales and development specialist for FedEx. So I am retired, and so now I'm getting ready to develop a sales marketing for, believe it or not, churches, how to reach out more effectively to get people to come into church, and where it can be not only a non-profit, but on a sales profit as well to get a profit, you know, so we're in the process.
I love it. You're in the process of learning how to make a profit
Come on now.
in a non-profit. All right.
And that's where I've been just transitioning from nonprofit to profit.
Okay.
So I'm creating the Virtuous Woman Project to offer counseling to low-income women through grants or whatever, because these are the women that are raising the children.
Okay.
And they have 5 and 6 children, they're all over the place, and they need structure and also returning citizens. So I'm trying to take that into profit instead of nonprofit, because I've been doing nonprofit all my life and I ain't made no money. So I'm trying to take all of that into the profit world.
Very good. Okay. Thank you all for sharing. That, to me, I did that just to close the room, so there'll be no holes in the room. But that's not what we're here to teach. That's a whole different conversation. That was ready. Y'all was ready to go there. I can feel the pull, but that's not what we're here. We're gonna get back on assignment, okay? So I'm gonna pass it my way.
Good morning. So, in front of you, you should have a clear cup. You and your spouse, please stand up with the cup either in the middle of you, on the end of the table, or you can place it on the floor, something convenient for either one of you to grab. If your significant other is not here and you're paired for someone else, you can play the game with them. Please move all liquids, food, and anything that may spill in the process of movement. All right, place the cup down with the lid on the table. Put it in the middle. This is hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. You're gonna face each other, so turn facing each other. The object of the game is to see how fast you outthink your spouse or your partner.
That's not good.
So, who moves the fastest? This is a great way. If you're like me, it takes me a minute to warm up, and if it's 10 o'clock, I'm ready to go. I'm woke. I'm awake now. So at this point, before we get started, we know this is a marriage conference, and we like to be interactive. We don't want to go and just sit and listen to people talking all day. Like, I came to be with my boo. I came to have fun. I want to do something. Like, I'm not sitting and talking on it. So, when I say head, everyone touch your head. Ears. Shoulders. Cup. First person that grabs the cup wins it. So we're gonna do that twice. All right, so if you have liquids close to you, move them out of the way, because I see some competitive people. You like my I
see it. It's on over there.
All right.
So do we
It's
look at each other?
on.
and
You
not
look at
just
each other and not the cup.
Okay.
You can't look at the cup. You gotta know where the cup is in your peripheral, but you cannot look at the cup. All right.
This is not
This
fair
is
to folks
keeping
that
your
just had eye
eyes
surgery.
on the prize without the prize. All right, ready? Shoulders, head, nose, toes. Oh God!
Oh, God.
I didn't say cup. Toes. Okay. Shoulders, head, nose, shoulders, nose, ears, cup.
Thank you.
Shoulders, head, ears, head, nose, shoulders, head, knees,
Oh, God.
shoulders, head, cup.
That's right. Give me here. I done bit the cup.
Hold it, the person holding the cup. All right. Now, this might get a little weird for those of you that are not with your
I
spouse.
lost it twice. It is weird already.
This next game, those that are holding the cup, person holds the cup.
Okay.
All right?
Now, what you had?
You are going to be the giver. The person without the cup, you are the receiver. All right? This game is called Captain May I. So with this cup, it's gonna get weird for y'all. So I don't know how y'all gonna just act like y'all.
I mean, how close we gotta get
Yeah,
back
no,
here?
yeah. This is called Captain May I. So what you're going to do with your spouse is.
Can I FaceTime my husband?
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can. Yes. When I say, Captain, may I whisper in your ear, the giver will lean over and whisper in the other person's ear.
What are you supposed to say?
You're the giver,
Oh,
What do I do?
So we do the whispering.
so you will do the whisper.
okay.
When I say kiss,
You can
cannot kiss unless I say, Captain, may I. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right?
Okay.
I'm not in control of that.
I don't know. Like to turn it on.
Whatever you are just receiving, you're not in control of nothing. This shows us how life happens.
I don't care who likes each other now.
There's only one giver in this group, in your group. And the opposite is the receiver. The receiver cannot take charge and become the giver. You only have to take what the giver is giving you.
My helmet
You gotta do this right quick.
All right?
Like you turn it on.
Are you ready? Oh, y'all got your spouse?
Yeah, he turned on
Ready?
somebody's lights, but they gotta wait.
Okay. Okay. Captain, may I rub your head?
I'm whispering in your ear. Okay, Captain, may I rub your head? I'm whispering.
You should be doing.
I'm
So
rubbing
when I
your
say
head.
Captain, may I, you begin doing. Now, Captain, may I rub your head?
Captain.
It's amazing to see how y'all rubbing heads.
He anointing back here.
Kiss the neck.
Don't be in pastor mode, man.
Exactly.
I didn't say Captain, may I kiss the neck? Look at you ready. This is the test. This is what we're seeing.
What are we doing?
When I say Captain, may I, that's what you execute. If I don't say Captain, you should be yes, because I have not said change it. Yep.
What we doing? We rubbing
That's
head.
still praying.
Captain, may I grab your right butt cheek?
I gotta grab your right butt cheek while you're sitting down.
That's the level.
So you just,
I like this game.
That's the level. Whatever.
I didn't say hug. I got people hugging.
Pastor Johnson, look at your spraying eyes when I said that.
Captain. Captain, may I blow in your ear?
Captain, I'm blowing your ear. Don't sit down.
I didn't say stop.
I'm blowing
I'll try to start something over here.
This what we doing out there at the same time?
That's the point. Did I ever tell you to stop rubbing the head and let the butt cheek go? Did I? Or did you stop? How well can you follow instructions?
How come we're holding the camera?
No, the cup game is over. I'm
Johnson
sorry, I
came.
did not articulate that.
She got it.
That man ain't gonna be able to cut nobody life.
You didn't say the captain man.
Yes, you may release the cup. You did well. Kiss their cheek.
Okay. I'm kissing your cheek now.
She said,
I'm kissing your cheek.
Captain, may I kiss your cheek? The face cheeks, not the butt.
He didn't tell me. He didn't say. She didn't say kiss me. I'm supposed to kiss you.
Captain, may I let you go?
Captain, may I let you go?
Now you may be seated.
Well, mine ain't else again. Feed us again. Well, I let you go.
Let's play it again.
You said let's.
Let's get it played again.
You may be asking, that was so fun, that was cool, why is that? Well, oftentimes, we do things and we react to our significant others, not really understanding who we are responding or receiving from. And so today, he has a presentation that he and I will discuss, and it will also go into our breakout sessions. It's called social skills. You've talked about your love languages, but do you understand the makeup of how that person receives? Yesterday, we were talking about communications, and could we talk about that and things like that? Well, communication is important if you know how to communicate to the person. And if you don't understand who you're communicating and how they hear and how they respond, your communication is gonna be in vain. And so our mission today is for you to understand, you hear oftentimes that we're better together and all of that, but the real truth of the matter is it's your differences. It's not that you're a power couple, you're only a power couple when you understand that you're powerful because of the differences that each one of you bring to the table.
I like that.
Very good.
So we're gonna help you identify and understand how important it is to love one another for their differences. And then move together as a power couple so that you can take over the marketplace, the religious mountain, the educational mountain, the medical mountain, whatever field you're called to go in. You can only do that as strong as your next partner or your spouse. Does that make sense? So, I'll turn it over to you.
Very good, thanks, Betty. So the reason why I ask you all what you all do professionally, because sometimes the tools that we are taught to use as professionals, those same tools are applicable to our marriage. And we tend to use them in the business church arena more than we do ourselves. Like my sister last night asked, do you have a vision for your marriage? I've never heard that before, right? Because you create, the first thing you do before you do a business, you create a vision. For you to the church, you create a vision. We have family meetings, we create a vision, but we never created a vision for our marriage because that really defines who we are when we become empty nesters, right? And so the tools I'm gonna teach you today is how do I read the room? So you can use this in a business standpoint. If you go to networking meetings, how do you read the room? But now let's bring it back home. How do I read my mate? So different seasons, we shift, right? When she was asking about the love language, I was like, well, I don't know, your love language changed like every 2 days. Right? Physical touch is my first, physical touch is my last. But now I travel a lot, so I'm gone, so all of a sudden now, when it's time to get down, you ain't touched me all week. I'm like, hold on. What you talking about? You ain't physical touch, I just bought you some shoes. I cleaned the house, I did everything else, but now it's the intimate moment. Now you talking about you filled your tank, you making me an excuse, Miss Headache Woman. Now all of a sudden you want to be physical touch. So, but she shifted because the time that I'm away is a long, because I travel Sunday nights, on Mondays, I'm back home Fridays, and then of course I'm getting ready for church and I'm back on the plane again Sunday to Sunday night. So what she's missing is the allocation of me really touching. So now she's shifting. So now to shift my mind that me arriving with Rose, arriving with a gift, that doesn't do any good. Me taking her to college when I come home or washing the dishes to say that I'm still at home doing things while I'm here, it's not doing any good. So she's shifted to now she's more physical touch. And the gifts and stuff are still important, but now how do I approach her? But the social skills, all of us have four colors that we can switch between. I'll talk about that. You have a red, you have a blue, you have a yellow, you have a green. So we'll go through what all of those really mean. But before I get started, I want to give you a foundation of scripture. It's Colossians 3:13-16. It says this: bearing with one another. I like to just state certain things to make sure we understand God's word. And forgiving one another. If anyone has a complaint against another, even as Christ forgave you, you also must do. We heard that a lot last night about forgiving each other, right? I talked to my guy yesterday at the table. We was talking about different levels of spirituality, about spiritual warfare. I told him about forgiveness. I just talked about forgiveness last night. So we know that's a foundational principle that if we don't forgive, then God can't forgive us. But it seems like it's easier for us to forgive others, but when it comes down to our mate, it's something we hold on to it for a long time. So that is the foundation that we have to do. But above all these things, put on love, which is the bond of perfection. So I'm a principle-based guy. If I want a bond, if if I want perfection in our marriage, then that means that I have to always stand on forgiveness no matter what. The small things, the large things, because if I'm used to forgiving the small things when it comes to the larger things, it's easier, but it's the same exact process. And let the peace of God rule in your heart. You have to fight for your peace. It's not just a given.
That's right.
The more I understand the kingdom is a message of responsibility. It doesn't happen by osmosis. So in our relationship, I have to make sure I fight for our peace. Sometimes I have to be the bigger person. She stated last night that sometimes he just getting the nerve with everything. So now my guy got to be like, okay, you just in your mood today. I ain't even gonna argue with you.
Yeah.
Now in our mature marriage now, she say certain things, she trying to pick and give me. I'm like, yes, okay. And she's there, she's ready to fight. I'm like, because I built her to want to fight me all the time.
Pause there. He built me like that.
Yeah, I got you.
Come on.
Most people don't realize, or most male or female, you can build your spouse to become what you're getting. And you don't realize it, but where I was a quiet and shy and didn't speak much, now I have an over-aggressive husband who likes to be competitive in everything, so he's built me now to be ready. So before he can even snap, I'm like, what? Hold on, why you, what? Sound, oh, you created this. And so what you'll start seeing as he's talking about this is, you'll begin to start doing some evaluations, hopefully from the presentations, to say, oh, I missed the mark in that. So in order for us to restore, rebuild, recover, before we can even move to forgiveness, I've got to go back to my first audible of defense and be like, I need to break that barrier down and come to forgiveness of myself first for ignorance, and then apologize to that spouse for what I've done.
Okay. To which also you are called in one body, and be thankful. Becoming one body is a process. It just doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It's a process. The kingdom of God is a process. God is a God of process, principles, and then results. So in order for us to receive, we first have to give what we're expecting as a call. Let the word of Christ, which is our foundation, dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching, admonishing one another in songs and hymns, spiritual songs, sing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. Lord, which is the owner of everything. He's the owner of our marriage. Think about what has prevented us from even going into, we don't even say that he were in our house. We don't even say it. It's never been stated in our house, we won't even say it.
That's right.
We're not giving no rights. So before we even say that we recognize that we are more tied to the entity of marriage than we are to each other.
Wow.
Thank you. That was
No,
always. You get mad at your boss, you get pissed off. Can I say pissed off?
Yeah.
Okay. You get pissed off at your boss. But I guarantee you 8 o'clock the next morning,
Come on.
you're gonna show up, right? Because you're more connected to the entity than you are to that boss.
That's right.
Because the boss could change,
Yeah.
but the entity won't change.
Exactly.
So I'm more connected to the entity, our kingdom, our God, that undergirds our marriage more than I am to my wife. So that means that brings me back to my wife, because I'm more committed to what I committed before God.
Come on.
So that's how we have to think about the whole entire thing. And I always stated this, right? If we decide to do the D, then we're gonna bring everybody back after my wedding, and you have to come back and do the D. That means everybody was in your wedding party, bring them back, and we're gonna make a public announcement that you all finna split. Because they wasted their money a long time ago. That was an investment into your life. If we hold ourselves accountable like that, then you won't even think about doing that.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
So we'll talk about the social skills. We're gonna help you identify your predominant social skill. I'll give you an overview of what it is. We'll discuss the social styles with teams, and then we'll talk about the style flex. So what is a social style? A social style is a predictable pattern of actions. I try to predict the way my wife will respond, depending on the circumstance. I can predict how people are gonna respond based off of how they are and how they feel. Just like now, I can almost guess. The reason why I have a conversation, because I'm trying to guess what's your social skills, so I can know how to communicate to you properly. I know how to I know I can't be super loud to some of you all because you may be a different color than I am. I'm a red all day, so I'm loud all the time. If somebody is more ample, my wife, she's more laid back, she's quiet. I can't shout really loud to her in the morning time because it's frustrating to her. So I have to be able to know how to approach it. A social style, again, is predictable. Therefore, all the styles are successful and they all have results. And then we have a style range with the ability to situationally adapt. So we have to know how to situationally adapt. And if you know your team, your leadership team to your churches, it works very well. I promise you. Each of us has a dominant style that we wear all the time. I tell my wife, I don't like the blue in you a whole lot, but I love the yellow. When we go away on vacation, she's all creative, she's happy, she's not thinking about planning, she's not super organized, structured. It's like, yeah, I don't care what color I put on. One day I put it to the test, and I'm gonna get to what disguise. One day we went to, I think we always like to go to Vegas, and we always drive to LA. And I said, you know what, this trip, you ain't planning nothing. We're gonna be spontaneous the whole, this is my trip. We're gonna be spontaneous the whole trip. She's like, what are we gonna eat? I said, I don't know, we're gonna look like Jesus. We're gonna go, we're gonna provide when we get there. We're gonna ride the town, we ain't gonna have a hotel. We're gonna find a hotel. Oh, yeah, we're gonna be spontaneous. We're gonna ride around the hotel, we're gonna choose a hotel, we ain't gonna plan what we're gonna eat, we ain't gonna plan nothing. We're just gonna get up and what we're gonna do is what we're gonna do for the whole trip. It drove her nuts. But in the end, she was like, this is really cool. I don't know if I can do it again though.
And let's explain to them why before we move.
Because one time I did mess up in the beginning.
Because even though, but this is where we have to yield to each other, right? I didn't take the power control of him and say, no, we're gonna plan this. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with you. But unbeknownst to him, he didn't know I had my credit card. So that in case, but in case something does not go according to his plan, Mama coming through in the clutch. So we sitting there, and we're getting ready to order food.
No, we ordered the food, hey.
You ordered your food, but you had to pay for the food. Because I am blue, which is an analytical person, I methodically think every process from the beginning to the end. When you travel, he doesn't do that because I do the travel plans. So he just shows up in his Nike suit, polo suit, and his cruise. You know what's going on. He doesn't think to call the bank to let the bank know that we're out of town.
Fraud alert.
We get ready to get food.
I'm balling like, go ahead and take care of it.
Decline. He over there flustered like.
You can tell when the person comes, she's like, sir, your card declined. I'm like, what?
So Mom had to, I got you. You called the bank, sir.
So it works out. It works out. So what percentage of the people important to your success are different than you? So I'm a data analyst. I love to study data. So 75% of the people you deal with, they plan differently than you. They're motivated differently than you. They have different willingness to take risks than you. I'm a risk taker, right? They make use of time differently. They make decisions differently. They handle stress, which is super important, differently. How do you handle stress in your marriage when things come up? Both of us, I think my sisters, keep on using y'all did a phenomenal job. But you know what I'm saying? I need my time. So us, it's like, okay, we know 15 minutes is the limit, and we don't leave the house.
Say it one more time.
We have differences.
I'll be back in a minute.
We have 15 minutes or 30 minutes or a day where we don't leave the house. That's been a rule in our family. We never leave the house. We always had the house big enough. I don't know how people make it in tiny homes, but we couldn't do it without 15 minutes. But we have a house big enough. I go outside and I hang out by the pool. She go in her prayer room, wherever she want to go. But we don't leave the house because she stayed at open doors. And what else is open? People. Because when you leave, the enemy knows he can open the door. It's finally Sister Big Bones walking around all of a sudden. Or Brother Big Chest walk out.
Don't leave out the brothers now.
When you walk out, and also open doors, right when you're frustrated. You have your favorite cologne on.
You talking.
She has her favorite apple jeans on. Now all of a sudden you caught up because you left the house. Because the enemy knows that's an open door.
Yeah.
So those are rules that we have established.
That's good.
We don't leave the house, we stay still. And the biggest part for me, from a fear standpoint, is I heard so many people to when they get into it with their spouse and something happens, they die.
Yeah, they're scared.
And now you living with
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
We just had a situation like that, a couple that we oversee in Pennsylvania. He got into it with his wife. And he was talking about that 15-30 minute window. He stormed out of the house to walk to the store, to the convenience store, just to cool off. Went into the bathroom for about an hour, just to cool off in the bathroom in the convenience store. But he come out of the bathroom and got into it with the clerk. And the clerk executed him outside in the parking lot. He shot him 9 times, so he never made it home. And this was,
So he took his frustrations with him to someone else, but they didn't tolerate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part, that part.
So I would never wanna live with that.
No.
That's the, it's more for me a vet than the sister big dog.
Yeah, yeah.
All right?
And may I ask, were they believers? Was he a believer?
no, he was, Muslim.
Okay.
But even if you're a believer, right? And I think that's the part that we miss it. We like to, when I'm heated at my husband, I don't see Pastor Adrian,
Come on.
Dr. Adrian.
That's right.
No.
That's right.
I don't even see God as that.
Yes,
You know,
that's
so
right.
It's just like,
Yeah.
dude, my tolerance level for you is maxed out, and keep me from snapping.
Yeah. I see him.
Let me blink so I'm back. Like,
You don't see
I
him.
love God. I love God with all my heart, but in those moments, I can't stand here and say that God is always at
Yeah,
the front of my
that's
face.
right.
That's good.
That's right.
It's the moments when I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm tired.
Gasoline time.
And he like, let's pray. He literally dragging me to pray, and I said, I
I
don't
don't
want
wanna
to pray
pray.
with you. I
Be real about it. Yeah.
This
Yes.
dude dragged me to the church. Dragged me to the church.
Yeah.
And said, we're going to the altar to pray. And I said, you can pray.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the altar and pray to God. I'm not. And I sat right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not praying. Because, for one, he ain't listening because my heart ain't right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
The angels ain't even moving because my heart ain't right. According to scripture, if we ain't even together, the angels ain't gonna do nothing for us. So why are you dragging me? But it was for his peace and his covering and his sanctity that he went to lay before God. And then God was able to convict him in the church and me in the car.
Yes, that's good.
So you have to know, like, I love God, but as a believer, I ain't gonna lie, because I don't want to go to hell for one. Because I work too hard, but I can't honestly say, as a believer, when we get into it, and like I see God first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to walk away, and then I'm gonna sit there and calm myself down because my emotions are all over the place. And then once I've gathered myself, then thank God for the Holy Spirit that can come and convict me. But until I get this heart, my mind is not gonna receive nothing.
You
the
gotta
Holy
deal with
Spirit
the
is
flesh. Yeah.
And so, and even
Is
that,
that right or wrong? I really wanna know, what's your opinion on
on what again?
On what?
it? Is it right or wrong to
I think
have
it's
your
based on,
disposition?
I think it is based on the individual because it's the heart posture at the moment.
Right.
God is looking, first of all, he understands that I'm made in his image. He understands how I'm created. He understands my makeup. He knows my traumas. He knows my issues. He knows all of the mental things that I've had to work with to get to this point. So at that point, if he don't show up in my space like that, he ain't judging me saying I don't love him.
Yeah.
He's saying she needs time because she's still working through stuff
Yeah.
to get to where she is.
Yeah.
So I think it's based on individual person. Some people may be strong enough to be like, oh, let's pray, that's for you. Because the Bible tells me to know my husband or my spouse according to him. He needs to know according to me. So based on your spouse level, you have to understand where they are so God is with you. Because if not, you're gonna be basing your relationship on mine and it doesn't work. You're not just pulling the
Real quick, even in that situation, we're human.
That's right.
First.
We're human.
Yeah.
And this is why we're learning and we're growing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think as pastors we give ourselves opportunities to grow. We feel like
Yeah,
we
we
have to
have
be
to
perfect all the
grow.
time.
Yes.
And we're not.
Yeah, we're not.
You have to know what I call, when you get in a situation, what are your audible calls? Your audible calls will only happen if you practice through them in advance. That's why this is so important. And I look at everything from an athletic standpoint. If I get to a spot and the defense is 3-4, then I know if I'm finna run, it ain't gonna work. No matter how I try to squeeze it, because I'm going against a defense that's meant to stop me, right? So I have to know what is my audible quickly to get out of that situation. So our audible automatically is 15 minutes. Okay, boom. She's normally the person, okay, it's getting too much, let's walk away for a second. I'm like, nah, we finna talk about this. And I say, the Holy Spirit, we real, man. We really gonna kill. Because my personality is like, no, you're gonna listen to this, cuz. And so we did that, but then, and now she trying to rise up because again, my wife was always, she was Brady Bunch, I'm Ghetto Boys from the beginning, I ain't gonna change. Right? So it's always been, so there's always come up, but now in order for her to learn that her defense mechanism is, she had to learn some Ghetto Boys. And so now when I'm changing over and maturing, then Ghetto Boys still coming out like, I gotta learn how to fight now. Now you talking how to fight. I'm like, okay, you can fight, I ain't gonna fight you back then. I became soft down, like, God matured me so much, and I was like, cause now she's, like, we was at the pool, we was in our backyard the other day, and she was asking something that she was trying to take me away for my birthday. My birthday and Father's Day is always the same week. And something like, man, I ain't never missed Father's Day. So I'm back in the pool, I'm chilling, I'm relaxed. It's a beautiful day. I'm relaxing, I'm dreaming, I'm sitting there dreaming, and I'm just like, okay, God, perfect day. So she asked me about Vegas. I'm like, nope, I ain't booked the travel yet. And then she go to another level. Your plan is never right. Here we go. Baby, it's a beautiful day. And we ain't finna mess a day up. I say, now, I'm talking to you calmly, chill. Well, everybody waiting on you. Third level. I'm like, baby, it's a beautiful day, we chilling. Well, you always take a long time to make decisions. Yeah, I'm like, what is going on? God, I'm trying to chill out. We finally got some sun, the water is cool, and here she comes. So I'm already thinking, okay, now she going to blue. We're gonna get to this. So now I gotta change it and shift mine, because now I'm the mature person in this conversation. So now she's hyped. She's like, well, you gonna make a decision? You ain't got nobody to teach me. I picked up my phone, I called one of my leaders. I said, listen, it seems that they're trying to plan things around my birthday and around Father's Day. I'd like to be here. Are you available to teach? Yeah, Pop, I can do it right away. I said, well, somebody's gonna teach for me on Sunday, and we can go to Vegas, and we can be cool. I ain't gonna try to come back for Father's Day, we good. I said, it's done, I'm gonna go. I said, she got a walking away. Your baby crying. She ready to fight. I'm like, I answered the call, I did what you gotta do. Now, let me enjoy my beautiful son in my pool and chill out. And at that moment, the crystal that I built at that time was ready to fight, because normally it becomes a fight. But I had to mature in that stage, right?
She has a point for you.
Go ahead.
Or a question.
No, I was just gonna kind of piggyback on everybody. What the main thing is, and my father was a pastor for 30 plus years, and he gave me the best example that we are human, like I said. And even in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus said, if it be another way, pass this bitter cup. So we all have bitter cups, but at the end of the day, we say, let your will be done.
Absolutely.
And so in the moment, you said it right. Sometimes things can trigger what happened maybe 40 years ago, and you react in that because your mind stores that. Even though we call it, we forget it, it's stored. And sometimes triggers can happen, and you be like, whoa, I didn't even know that was still there. You know, you washed it away with the blood of Jesus, but we're still human.
Absolutely.
So we have to, every situation is different. And I have seen believers make a huge mistake, you know? And like, I've had to talk to some ladies that did some things, they were celibate 15 years. That right moment, like you said a while ago, muscle man showed up, whispered in her ear. I've had women tell me that ministers that they have met proposed to them. I know a situation that actually happened. This woman was in love with this man, and he said he wanted to try the merchandise just before the week of the wedding. He tried the merchandise and then said, thus said the Lord that we should wait. Then he got married to somebody else the next month. She was crushed for over 15 years. So, and I tried to help her understand, God forgives you, but we react in certain ways at certain times. That's the point I'm saying. So
Absolutely.
what you said, all of you, it's beautiful how y'all giving it to us. Thank you.
Okay, now let's get to, everybody, if you have a sheet of paper, I'm not sure, I guess I can think of it, sheet of paper, or you can put it on your phone, open up your
We
notes.
should have the sticky notes.
What are sticky
Lady
notes?
Vanessa gave us the sticky notes last
I
night.
forgot about that part, apologies on that. You can put it on your phone, or
When we get other pictures.
just
We have sticky
stick
notes.
it, stick it.
I can help you. No, no, no.
So we're gonna take a quick test. There's a series of questions.
I know y'all was teaching me about my iPad.
What did you, oh, excuse me.
For calming down.
For calming down.
At that level.
For me to calm down, best technique for me, and that's a very good question. What's the best technique for calming down when you're at that level? At the highest level?
When you was
Cold red.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone is, what suits you? Everyone has to know what suits, which is
A
why we have to
vacation.
do this.
vacation.
Because the thing about it is, you're trying to put tools in place where you haven't even identified the issue.
True.
So you're trying to calm down, but you don't even know what calms you.
That's true.
So as we go through this, then you start saying, oh, this is, so then you can kind of get an idea of what can calm you, because for what calms me doesn't calm him.
Yeah.
I have to walk away. He can sit by a pool and the water alone calms him, or the gym. The gym doesn't calm me, it tenses me. So it depends on, after you identify your style and your makeup, it'll kind of help you.
And just to sidebar that as well, because we have a commitment to where we're upset, we don't leave the house. So we put things in our house that helps us, like I have a pool in my backyard and I have a gym in my garage. So if I get frustrated, I work out.
And I
go to
like
my
the
gym.
color. I'm an artist.
I like the color. So we have our different things, our different outlets we do, just to kind of come down. We don't come in each other's space behind us. Right, okay? All right, let's go through this test. All right, so we're gonna try to identify your social style. Speaking in front of large groups. Are you A, I love to do it and need a little time to prepare? Are you B, I like to do it, but will rehearse content ahead of time? Or are you C, I would rather not, but if necessary, would need time and a lot of preparation? Or are you D, I would rather do anything but speak in public?
So I think there are the total of the same questions, so if you could number them and then put the letter next to which one you are, and then you're gonna go back and add up which one you have the most of, it'll give you what style you are.
Okay? I'm gonna give you 10 seconds per slide. You don't have to write it all the way out, just write down A, B, C, D. Okay, y'all ready? All right, next, what best describes you? A, creative, energetic, and outspoken. B, leader, assertive, and driven. C, methodical, organized, and smart. D, likable, team player.
That's a hard.
Yeah.
You can only pick one.
The first one that comes to your mind.
Pick one. Just only pick one. All right, all ready? All right, when working in a team, I'm the one with the ideas. I'm usually the leader. I will ensure quality, C, or D, I want everyone to get along. Which one are you? All right, y'all good? Question 4. In a social environment, I like to tell stories and make people laugh. B, I will steer the conversation to something I like. C, I will add intellectual value to the discussion. And D, I'm happy as long as everyone else is happy. team competition, we will have the coolest product. A. B, we will win. C, we will do it right. D, we will have fun. All right. So for the 6. It is important to me to A, stand out, B, be the best, C, do it right, or D, create unity. Number 7. On expressing my ideas, I will show it with excitement and energy. I will show it with results. C, I will show it with math and detail. I'm gonna prove you with the data. D, I will show how it benefits the people and the environment. All right. Number 8. I will be happy if others describe me as A, unique, spontaneous, and motivated. B, forthright, independent, efficient. C, smart, thorough, and logical. D, genuine, compassionate, and loyal. Number 9, well, that's it. It was only 8, okay? So yeah, so let's count count up the numbers you have of each individual letter. Who was in for the first 4? Somebody missed the first 4?
Yes, I did.
You need the first 4?
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, so while everybody else is catching up, then you just go back, I go back and take the first 4 questions. 1, speaking in front of a large group.
So you're picking the first one that comes to your mind.
So speaking in front of a large group, I love to do it, maybe a little bit of time to prepare, okay? You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we go to number 2. What best describes you?
I got it.
All right, 3, and working in a team.
I got it.
And 4, in a social environment. Number 8, I'll go back to them for you, okay?
Okay, I got it.
All right, number 5, I'll go back to number 5 just in case everybody else needs it.
Okay, I thought that was number 4. Okay, somewhere I missed number 4. What did I miss? I've got 1, 2, 3.
That's 4, in a social environment.
I must have skipped one, okay.
You good now?
We need to go back
Go
to
to 3,
1.
please, go back to 3.
Okay, that's 3, we're working in a team.
Oh, okay. That's 3 right there.
Yes, sir.
I apologize.
No problem.
2.
And 1, speaking in front of large groups.
Okay.
Good, so I go back to that's number X, number 8. That's number 8. I will be happy if others describe me as. Oh, you don't have your glasses on, can you see? Look at you say you need your glasses.
She said
No,
that.
no.
No, you're right.
Yeah. But you, I saw you doing like this, I was gonna read it to you.
I am
I
smart,
wasn't coming at
thorough,
you.
and
I
logical.
promise you, I wasn't coming at you. I remember you walked there and said, I forgot my glasses, let me go get my glasses. So I remember that for you. All good, okay? She ready to jump with me, boy. I can tell what you're doing this already. All right, so if you have mostly A's, you were creative. You are a creative social style. That means you are a yellow. Okay? If you have mostly B's, You are a driver social style, which is a red. If you have mostly C's, you're analytical social style, which is a blue. If you have mostly D's, you are a amiable style, which is a green. Okay?
I have 3 and 3.
You have 3 and 3. Okay, that's good. What were your 3?
3 A's, 3 B's, and 2 D's.
Okay, so you are creative and you are a driver. Okay, so you may switch between those two and talk about those. What color were you on? Everybody shout their colors out.
I had
3 A's and 3.
Yellow, 3 A's, and 3 D's.
You had what again?
3 A's and 3 D's.
3 A's and 3 D's. I can see that. So creative and amiable, okay?
Yellow.
I can tell you, yellow, creative.
What color I'm again?
What's the?
What was yours? I'm gonna show you here, okay? So I'll show you here. So which one, who's Alma Greens, raise your hand. Alma Greens? Anybody score greens? Greens? Okay, no, just greens, all amigos, raise your hand. Okay, so I have 3 greens, okay? What about yellows, who's creative? Okay, creative, okay, drivers, raise your hand, red,
Well, I'm red and blue.
that's fine. Ooh, yeah, that's a tough one, huh? I can see where you look at it. Yeah. I'm analyzing you real tough, I'm a driver, okay?
Which one you think I am?
Which one I think you are, if I had to guess? You have, see, I think we from the same, you got some of that in you, so.
You got that in you too?
No, that means like, I'm gonna tell you what it is, Louisiana. I think you got some red in you. Are you red?
3 B's and 3 C's.
3 B's and 3 C's?
Yeah, okay.
Which one, 3 C's, analytical, you were so C, analytical, blue, I can see that, and you were, what was the other one?
3 B's and 3 C's.
3 B's, driver, red, and C, yep, okay, I know you have a sure from our conversation.
So D's is what color?
D's are green, I can tell you kind of laid back, you don't say too much, but I explain what those are. 4 D's?
4 C's.
Yeah, 4 C's, analytical, okay, so that means you ask a lot of questions. Okay, okay, all right, what about you all?
I had 3 A's and 3 C's.
Okay, creative and but I can see. That's why you made the puzzle for sure, right? What about your husband?
I got 4 A's and 3 B's.
4 A's and 3 B's, okay, creative, and that's a great match as well, that's why y'all married really good. Because you convert very well, right? All right, anybody else, what about yourself?
I am blue and red.
I can tell you, you have to be, okay? All right, so let's kind of go through this here. So an amiable, when you think about the top range, amiable and creative, they have more of an emotional response, okay? Analytics and drivers are more logical. We want numbers and we want to be quick to it. We don't really care. We love people, but we don't care about people just how they feel. Okay? That's why I told Grant. Listen, I told. I'm sorry, Carl. That's just he's my boy. I call him Grant. I'm sorry.
But it's a proper etiquette protocol.
Yeah, kind of like you like the Arch-3rd Bishop of what's your title, now, man? You like the Arch-3rd Bishop of our 3rd Ward. What is your title, now, man? You're overseer. Okay. I'm sorry to call you that. Because we friends like that. I'm sorry. I just okay. I don't know what to call you, man. You got something that I'm gonna tell you. I think I'm gonna just give you some give me communion, man. All right. So, but that's why we was talking, and Greg was like, man, you know, people when they come in they late. I'm just like, listen, we start our church. I teach first. We don't do praise and worship waiting on people to come in and no, 11 o'clock I'm up there teaching. If it's 2 people, I'm teaching. I don't really care about them because I want the ones that are ready. If you're ready, if it's 2 people here and you're ready, I start teaching at 11 o'clock, you're there. Some people do praise and worship and you got 5, 6 songs. One more song and you waiting for people to come in. But again, don't do your church like that because of me.
Yeah.
I love people, but I don't care that much a lot of times.
11 a.m.
Amiable creatives, you love people. They feelings are so great. You know, I gotta worry about them and You don't have office hours because they can call you at 5 o'clock because they don't have
Oh
told
my
you.
God.
You the one that
Okay,
they
I
want
need
to
to
tell you,
change.
right? So now, brings us back home to your marriage, and you float in those the same exact way in your marriage, right? So when you think about the social styles, we'll keep on moving here for the sake of time, okay? So let's talk about the social style of green. A green person is the person, like, I'm an A, and I'm an executive VP for a company, so I'm a driver to scale businesses, right? So I'm an A. If I come into an office and I have a green person, I just can't come and say, hey, did you get the data? How we doing? We need to make sure we put these new programs in place. What is our go-to-market strategy? And like, good morning, sir, how are you?
Yes, yes, amen.
That's a green.
Yes.
They want you to speak to them first, care about them first, show me you care. Good afternoon, when I come in the morning time, when I leave in the morning time, tell me you love me, greet me first before we start talking about business, right? So that, but if I know I have a red, I can go to them straight with business. I ain't gotta soften them up. I can go straight to the point, right? So greens, avenue people with high responsiveness than others and low assertiveness are people oriented and social. Let me tell you about the greens. The greens, they don't say much, but they know everybody's business. They read the room, looking at you. They understand, they know, okay, yeah, my track off, yeah, over here, you know. And everybody do. Your left toe ain't good. You get that thing painted, girl, but it ain't right there. You know what I'm saying? They know everybody's business. So that's the person, they don't say a whole lot, right? So without a need to lead, they don't want to lead. They can be steady. They're more consistent and they are reliable workers. They're very reliable. So your mate can be you can depend on them for everything because they know everything and they're always gonna have an answer because they've studied it and researched for a while. They also avoid any conflict. They don't like conflict. They'll ball up and fight. My wife go into that mode. She go into that mode from a business perspective to where people are like, we own the event space. I want chairs, I want clouds, I want all that. You can have it. Okay, I don't feel good about saying no. I'm like, heck no. $10 each. $5 each. They trying to use me. No, they ain't trying. It's business. They trying to keep their money. We trying to get their money. This ain't church. It's a business. So she going to green, and it comes down to business. Like we go and negotiate for jewelry. We love jewelry, and they tell her they get up with a price. It's like, okay. She put out no. Wait. I love to go buy a new car. Ooh, I love that. Let's go buy, take me to go buy a car, this pay me, I guarantee I'm gonna be that's ready. Right. I was in the car dealership one time, rates was super high, like 5 to 6%. Before I left, 0%. That's right. Wow. Come on. Because I'm gonna negotiate today. So green, some characteristics of an animal, they friendly, relate well to others, they're good listeners and teamwork, they want to be respected, they like and they approve of, dislike conflict and risk taking. They're not gonna take a lot of risk, right? Slow decision making. Greens will drive you crazy.
Yes, they will.
Prefer to be told what to do than to lead. Just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Tell me what to do. Not pick them up, but that's how she is sometimes. I'm like, babe, what we gonna teach? I'm like, give me some ideas. No. Just tell me what to do. I'm like, okay. And then we start clicking eventually, right? And then when I start giving ideas, then she turn blue. No, we can't do it that way. I'm like, hold on, I can't turn blue. I'm like, hold on. So now what I do, this is what I do. Because she turned green in a certain situation, but she also flipped the blue. What we gonna eat today? Well, I don't know, baby, you chose. No, you choose. Okay, I want McDonald's. I don't want no McDonald's. Let's go here. Okay. So now lead her to turn blue so she can pick what you want. Right? All right?
But then that's because I know I'm married to a red.
Yeah.
So you know,
He's a driver. He's gonna try to. He's just on top of it. He gonna try to get one up because he's competitive for one. See, that's why you have to know your spouse. So. That's why I do those, because I have to bring blue because my husband likes data. So I can't just say stuff to him. I actually have to pull a whole report and present my case, because me just saying it alone don't convince him because I'm his wife. But statistics, because he's a statistic guy who don't lie. So I have to be blue because I have to provide statistics.
Wow. For your red.
For my red.
Okay. That's how it works together. So agreeing when stressed, they may become indecisive and submissive. Okay, you ask about how do you handle situational heights, depending on your social skill. If it's heightened, it's like, I'm submissive, so I'm not gonna go through this right now, so let's go to the next one, okay? Blue. Analytical people are less assertive and less responsive to others. They don't really care about people that much. They hence tend to focus more on tasks than people and are less interested in leading, okay? Being happy to work, they love to work by themselves, they're more introverts, okay? Like to work by themselves. Or she created the word ambivert, right? Both, okay? They may be prudent and systematic, making them good at analytical work. So when we're making a decision about business, investments, also too on the spiritual assessment side, right? If my wife is more prophetic than I am, so she has a feel. We use data. Wherever we go, I say, babe, how do you feel? I know two things gonna come. She's gonna analyze it, but also the prophetic of if it's the right call, it's gonna work. So that works with the spiritual gift assessment test too as well. We do with our leaders. It's a whole different teaching, right? So we try to make sure that we can decide how people respond. So I know my wife, whatever decision we make in our life, if we are not locked in with her blue to analyze it, we don't do it because I know she's tapping into a different realm spiritually too. We was about to build a multi-million-dollar house, and we was like, let's go ahead and do it. We got the perfect land, the perfect corner lot, it's on a lake, and I was happy, she wasn't happy. I was like, okay, let's go walk the land. She was happy, I wasn't happy. It was like, okay, we decided to stop it, and we said, nope, we're gonna wait. And when we waited, the next week, I got a call and I was laid off. So you use this, not just for the argumental stuff. What we're trying to teach you to do is spiritual when your marriage matters, it makes you more powerful. Most of us look at these events that help us understand how to handle stress and how to handle arguments. But it's way more than that. It's almost like in the church, we're trying to teach people about, if you learn the foundations of not sinning,
Right.
Doing things, committing to the purpose of God, that's just the basic foundational things, so God can give you deeper things that He wants to really carry you to. In our marriage, we're trying to get past the basic arguments over money, over sex, past that crap. When we come together, there's more powerful things we can do together as a couple. That's really what the power of it is. Now we can buy things together, we can grow and have investments by the family. Now that's growth. That's the real matter. But we take so long, 10 years, thinking and arguing over the small stuff. Get past that crap. So when you get to this,
what you just described is a phenomenon.
Yes, sir.
It is a phenomenon. What you guys have done is you have combined the spiritual aspect with the psychological aspects of things, and that requires knowledge and experience and discernment all at the same time. And to be able to grasp that is going to take a lot of effort combining the spiritual. We learned about cognitive behavioral therapy, but yet we embrace the spiritual aspects of things from the spiritual warfare.
Yes, sir.
What is going on here? Identifying it on both levels.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what needs to happen with us.
I really can't even explain what it does for your marriage, right? Just say for instance, the world has built us so well to where we think soul ties are bad things.
That's just how weird it is, because I knew what you were about to say.
When you have a really good soul tie, you think having intercourse is just no. When we make love, we're creating an entity of a thought together. We flow together. I get up and literally put on clothes. I can be in a different city. Give an example. I was in, what was I? California, so when I was about, I don't know where I was. But anyway, we were trying to find clothing for an event. I went, picked my event. She had already had an outfit. I'm in the store, trying on, and I said, I wanted a clean green mint suit, right? I just want to move plumbers clean. I'm gonna wear this, we're gonna do this right. We had a financial conference. And I had my clean green mint suit, I sent her a video. She answered the call. I said, babe, what you think about this suit here? This is what I'm gonna wear. I wanna make sure it's tight, everything is good. I love to analyze my gear too as well. Check this out, everything is good. She never tell me what she had. We come back that next Sunday, same exact outfit. Same exact
What he
suit.
didn't realize, or what had not registered in his spirit, was that same day I had already gone to the store and bought this outfit. So I had already picked out the exact outfit that he had for me. And then when he showed it to me, I was just like, oh, that's nice, that looks really good. That's nice. But I never showed him anything, so when he was getting dressed Sunday morning, he was like, yeah, so how I look? I was like, oh yeah, I think you'll match me. I think it'll be cool. He didn't see me till I walked out, got dressed, he was like, you got the same suit. I said, I had it before you, I just couldn't tell you, I just needed you to see it. That's how soul ties work. We focus so much on the negative of being connected to bad people and all of that. But when you are actually synced together, you can be in different parts of the world and still have the same idea. You can dream at night the same dream in different beds. Or you can dream opposite, because sometimes we've been in situations to where he's winning and he's gaining stuff and I'm fighting spiritually in the dream. And so when he says, hey, I had this dream, and he's telling it, and I'm interpreting, I'm telling us, oh no, we don't need to do that because that's confusion, because where you're winning, I'm battling. I'm dreaming somebody is robbing, so I'm going against that thing that's trying to steal. So it's just, it's the, how God really intended for us to become one.
That's right. That's right.
That's awesome.
And so for us to continue to move to be successful, so that we now become the legacy and not the blemish on God's name, because so many of us as pastors have become blemishes when it comes to marriages, that we have to make sure we work hard at learning who we have laying next to us, or who we decided to make that covenant with. So when situations in life changes happen or move with us, we're able to move with that person, and not just move, but actually be able to communicate it so that each person can understand what we're doing.
Okay. So Blue, they may also pay excessive attention to details in ways that annoys others. So my wife, I mean, it's like the small, I'm like, babe, we don't have a, but it bothers her because it's just the small details, right? But then sometimes that keeps me out of trouble too, right? So some of the characteristics of analytical, they focus on tasks and with the people, like to be right. So in a situation, like I said when I was in the pool, she was turning blue. I just let her be right. Why? She'll blue. I'm just let you win. There's no sense. You can win, right? Because I know if I want to end the conversation, just let her be right. Okay? Thoughtful, careful, fact-oriented and precise, good and objective evaluation and problem solving, likes organization and structure. Avoid group work, prefer to work alone. She does not like to work in groups. She had to learn to do that, right? Can be overcritical about the small things, right? And unresponsive, cautious in decision. The worst thing I hate, and I say I hate, about this characteristic of my wife. Babe, how much is in the account? Well, I had to go to the grocery store. I had to go. No, how much is in the account? I had to go get my hair did, and your girl did. Just give an answer. Because she's been analyzing stuff all over again, right? And then a blue person, you spend a lot of time bringing, and your husband's a real, right? My wife spent a lot of time studying data, or looking over stuff. And then she brings me this, and she got to give me this whole footprint. I'm just like, I see all that. I just want to get to the end. Right? And they can drive a blue crazy because, like, I spent 8 hours trying to get this together, and you only want the end. That's all I want is the end. I don't care about nothing in the middle. Okay? So when stressed, may withdraw and become headstrong. Okay? So in times when she turns blue, if she feels like she's stressed, then you see that she becomes headstrong. Like y'all just saw that, right? God wasn't there nowhere. Same exact thing with blue. When you're blue, God ain't gonna be nowhere in it because you become headstrong and you feel like you gotta fight to prove yourself. Because what? I got facts. You don't have facts. I know this is true. Okay? That's the blue. Not just in my wife. Not just I'm just saying. But when you study the data and a blue, one great thing about a blue, when they write, they write. Okay? They write. When blues, listen, when they write, they are right. Okay? They've done their due diligence, they studied the data, they made sure it makes sense, they looked at it back and forth, they researched it, she's prayed over it, she's interceded, she's fasting over it. There's a spiritual aspect to it, right? So when she feels like she's right, it's right. That's why every building we went into, I said, babe, this building is very nice. What you think about this? She was like, I think this is it. We buy it. We bought 10.5 acres, 2 years ago. I was like, man, I don't know if it's the right time. I said, but let's go walk this land. I'll bring her with me because that's my blue in them. I need her to be blue in that moment. Let's walk the land. Let's pray. I said, babe, I think it's it. We struck the deal. We bought the land, right? Some areas like, we ain't buying that. So I ain't just depending on numbers itself, I want the spirit of God to kind of flow with the discerners and move to
And,
as well.
and I just wanna insert this, and then we need to keep moving, cause I wanna be respectful of time. But with him knowing that part about me as well, as a blue, you have to make sure that you don't allow people to pimp that part of you.
Yeah.
That is good.
So when he's asking to bring me for these discernments or things like that that's happening, if God doesn't speak to me, I don't move. If I don't have anything, I don't conjure, because now I'm going into witchcraft. I
That's
don't
right.
make up
That's
stuff.
right.
Ooh, come on.
Oh, come
My
on.
husband. I can't, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to stand before the Father for myself and be accountable for the things that I've done, even in marriage, not just in ministry, because I had him before he even became a pastor. So, as we're moving and we're making decisions, he'll like, you got a word today, you got something for the people? You know.
I move
You
on.
sure you got?
Yeah.
That's
How
good.
you feel? No?
Yes,
You
sir.
sure? I know you got something.
No. No.
Come on.
Because you know I have this gift. If we're not careful, people will pimp you and cause you to start operating in witchcraft.
That's right.
Twisting and calling it God, and God is nowhere in it.
That's true. Let me do it.
Very good.
Yes, they call.
Amen.
Very good. All right, so let's go to. Which one? Red. Blue, red, okay. Red, so I'm red all day. That's just who I am, okay? Well, hives, all my reds, raise your hand. Reds.
Blue and red.
Blue and red, okay? So with high assertiveness and low emotional response, you don't have no emotions. You hear that a lot. Drivers are not so worried about how others react and are hence more independent and candid. We're less concerned about people that have a greater concern for results. I'm results driven all day, okay? And that's how I operate as a kingdom citizen. Like, God, okay, you're telling me to apply these principles or my results. That's how me and God react. God showed me the results because I apply his principles, I stay consistent, and if situations happen, I know that I'm being adjusted and not being judged.
Wow. Say it one more time, husband.
Say that again.
When I'm moving, and because I know that I'm systematically applying the principles that God has given me as a red, anytime something happens in my life, I know that I'm being adjusted and not being judged. If I'm doing things wrong, I'm not treating my spouse right, and I'm not loving my children, I'm cheating on my wife, and something happens in my life, and I spend more time trying to figure out, God, how did I mess up? But if I'm doing all the right things and something happens, like I gave you an example, I was like, oh, I've been applying the principles. So now when that door closes, I'm saying, okay, hallelujah, I'm being adjusted. I don't go into stress, I don't go to unemployment, I don't start fasting, I don't start doing, because I know God is only adjusting me. But because people are messing up, then I go into fasting like David, right? Because he knew he had messed up, so he was trying to secure something with a fast, and God never told him to do that. So as pastors, and we understand when God is asking us to adjust, then I know I'm adjusting, not based off me messing up. That's why it's important for us to do what God asks us to do. Right?
Amen.
So as a red, they may also be poor collaborators. Why? Because we know we want to do.
Yeah.
Ain't got time. She like, why you bring me in? You already know what you're gonna do. I done thought you done thought about this already. I'm like, no. So now, if I know I'm coming in, if I know I'm about to start, I bring her on the beginning because I've been in process this for like days and days and days, and I bring her in. She trying to turn the frame. I said, you can't turn the framework down, baby. It's already up. That's true, right? So poor collaborators. You got a question?
Yes, I wanted to know what the colors were. A is what?
Let me go back.
A is amable, green.
A is yellow.
A is green?
A is green.
Okay, that's not.
Right there.
A is yellow.
Yellow.
B is red. C is green. C is blue. And D is green.
A is creative, B is driving, C is
I guess I think I'll put the colors right here next time.
Yeah, it would've been good to combine the colors together.
Go back to the chart.
That way,
So A
you
is.
have clarity.
A is blue?
No, A is yellow. A is yellow. B red. Excuse me. C is blue. And D is green. So I'll update the slides. Okay? All right. So let's go back to this. Okay, so we was in the red. So some of the characteristics of a driver, competitive. We always competitive. We want to win. okay? Seeks control and being in charge. I always wanna be in charge and control. I'm sorry, that's who I am, right? My family knows it. Hey, I'm the leader of this family. I'm covering y'all, we're gonna move. But sometimes that's a bad thing, but you have to know how to use meekness if you're ready. You have to understand meekness as ready. Even though I know how to lead, and especially as a pastor, because we're gonna lead and we're gonna tell everybody what to do, go. But then you never give other people to come up with ideas. So in marriage, then I have to make sure I submit my red a lot. Because it can mess us up. It messes up in the beginning. She just called me, you boy-headed. I didn't understand what that meant at first. Fast acting, we make a lot of fast decisions, don't care. I done killed a lot of dead bodies, not physically. That means, whereas we make decisions and we keep on moving, but then we gotta come back and apologize a whole lot.
Question. So, with those that are reds, what do you do when those decisions are not the best for the marriage? Because I get what you're saying, I get it. But if it ain't gonna work over here, what do you do?
If I'm a red?
Okay, yeah, and you said you make the decision, you're the leader, but if your decision is not what's best for your marriage,
Yes.
what do you do?
I have to submit it. That's why I say I have to submit my red to listen more. So we're also gonna talk about the weakness of red too as well, right?
Okay.
So a red in the marriage, if I know that if I can make a decision and it's gonna hurt our marriage, I have to be mindful of that, right? And I have to allow myself to be submitted to whatever she is in a scenario. Make sense? Because I've made a lot of bad decisions. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a risk taker. I don't even care about it. I just make the decision and then I move on. And then I became okay with apologizing in our marriage a lot. But then after a while, I didn't want to keep going back and apologizing because she won't believe my apologies became weaker and watered down because you're gonna do it again. You're gonna do it again. So now when I'm making a decision, I bring her along the decision before I build the framework. I used to build a framework and then bring her along, like, nope, you can't take this wood off. Nope. You can just pick the color, that's it. But now, from the beginning, if it's a major decision, I always bring her at the foundation. Question?
I wanted to ask her, how do you handle that?
How do I? A lot of.
Like the risk taking and then when it's a mess up.
Well, I've learned to accept him for him.
Okay.
So in the beginning, it frustrated me but it also helped me grow because where he is a risk taker, I'm not. So it caused me to start taking risks where I would never not do it.
Right.
And so what we had to do when I said like stats, I literally had to do charts. We literally had to have meetings and I would have to present data to say, you do know that this is gonna fall in 3 to 5 years because the framework is right. Or you do know this is how many hours that you've invested. You've been gone X amount of hours and your kids are depleted. So I literally we do a lot of communications. So not just with us, even our kids. So when we're making decisions, our home is set where everyone has a voice. Yes, you are our head. Yes, you cover us.
That's good.
But we also have put it in our framework for our family that every voice in this home matters.
It does.
And if 2 or more have said that they don't agree with this, then you have to release what you're trying to present and understand that this is a team. This is not just one man driving us.
Yes.
We are a unit moving, because you said God called us. God didn't just call you. If he just called you, then you've been doing what you need and we be up here. So it's based on communication. A lot of trial and error. Discernment is called trial and error. It's basically practice. To get good discernment, you have to go through the practice to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And for him, he's like you said, he was very bullhead. I couldn't get a word out. I was like, oh, okay, I guess you're gonna just run it, huh? Well, run it, then that's you. Just know this is what it is. Because if I don't communicate it, he'll never see it. And most of the times we just let our spouses do things, but we never communicate and be like, in our mind, we're saying, oh, you're gonna say, but you haven't brought to their attention the things that we laid before him. Yes, so we're like, I'm like, you do know you killed a lot of bodies along the way, right? I killed yeah, you do know you laid out a whole lot of stuff. So you have to be able to communicate it, and it took time. And so now when he says stuff, I know for me, when he says, this is what I'm doing, God gave me a confirmation. You have to know key words. When he tells me, God says it, I know it's not him. Because Adrian will make mistakes all the time. But when God is with Adrian,
come on,
that is one thing that I know that has not led us wrong.
That's
when he
good.
tells me God says this, I use that as a stamp of approval that if it's starting to fall, how are we going to communicate so we can work together as a team? Yeah, you wanna do it, okay? Are you gonna be bullheaded about it? All right? I've learned, in my house, they know if I'm quiet, then your life support is over. Like, because the worst thing for me to do is be quiet, because when I'm quiet at that point, it's the Holy Spirit and God on your team. Because he can do more with your life than I could ever do. I would frustrate you and then I'd be frustrated. So now my emotional being is unbalanced at that point. And that's where I've had to learn me. So for that, you have to understand how much can you take before you stop becoming you. If I do too much, I'm gonna lose myself. And then I'm start saying stuff and acting in ways that I shouldn't have because I didn't let go. So if he wants to do it, I'm like, okay. And then I stopped listening to most of the stuff because as drivers, they go all the way around. And then they land and then they change. And I said, well, because I'm analytical, I've built plans. Everything you said, I started building here. And then you came back and tore all that down again and just stopped here. So it's just like, you gotta tune in and out of the conversations when you're talking to a driver to know what you wanna do.
Most drivers are visionaries.
That's right.
Wow.
Visionaries, and then if you think the spiritual side, you're more apostolic. You build things.
That's right.
You build things, and when you know you're going to build things, everybody may not agree with you real long term.
And they may not see it
Because
either.
you have an assignment, and sometimes you go until they see it. But then the danger is, they may not ever see it. So I want to make sure, especially my spouse, I slow down so that she can't see it. Okay? So some of the characteristics of driver, again, plans carefully, decisive, results-oriented, task-focused, dislikes inefficiency and indecision. So if you're married to somebody that makes slow decisions, it's gonna drive you nuts. Can be impatient and insensitive. When stressed, grab control and be overcritical. When I'm stressed out, I'm just like, head honcho, bump it, let's roll. Either you with me or you're not, and that's not a good thing. Even for my wife and my kids, I'm like, okay, bump it, I'm gone. What we gonna do? I'm making this, we moving to New York City tomorrow, let's go. All right? But it's not a great thing sometimes when you're stressed. So when I'm stressed, I have to do things to release that stress. So I go to the gym, I go to like a pool or something, okay? All right, yellow. These are my happy party people. If you get a group of yellows in a room together and you're trying to build a building, they're gonna party, but they ain't gonna get no building. They're gonna be happy. They're gonna great. You wanna have yellows, right? If your wife is a yellow, you know she's always gonna pick you up. Your spouse is yellow, they're always gonna be happy. They're gonna be loud. They're gonna be crazy. But don't expect them to plan everything effectively. Okay? Expressive people have a higher service and greater responsiveness to others. They love people with less concern for what others think. They're typically articulate, quick, and visionary. These are people that can plan things. On the downside, their assertiveness may make them poor listeners.
Very.
Don't listen with them, right? They just so happy they miss all the details, okay? On the downside, they make poor listeners, and they tend to be distracted. It doesn't take much to distract them, right? They can be focused in, huh? Yeah, what's going on? Huh? They just.
What you said?
What you said? Because they're trying to listen to everything, right? Some characteristics of them, they're creative, outgoing, enthusiastic, spontaneous, fun-loving, interacts well with others at work, good, persuading. These are your salespeople. If you're married to a yellow, they'll persuade you to do things you don't like to do. The good thing about a career, they make sure you have, if you are a boring spouse and you're married to a yellow, it ain't gonna last long, right? Because they're always gonna be wanting to do things. Even if you don't want to do something. Grant just told me, he said, Sarah, I just want to sit still. You yellow, right? Right. Yellow, what you told me earlier. He want to chill out on Saturday morning. She's like, let's go outside. Let's move. Let's go. And by the way, you drive. Come on, let's go. Right? That's a yellow. Yellows, they fear being ignored or rejected because they have a good idea, a great party, and if you don't like my party, you hurt my feelings. Okay? Good. So they fear being rejected. They like to be acknowledged. If your spouse is yellow, please don't let them leave the house without telling them they look nice.
Words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Okay? When they get done doing anything, they cook well, and what about a new outfit? Make sure reds for sure and blues. make sure you stop and acknowledge your mate. And they're yellow. The yellow is, they would do everything for free. But if the moment you don't give them credit, Look at the nerve right there. That was the nerve, that one. Okay? I'm telling you. Y'all pastors, if you got yellows in the church, you better love them. They gonna clean the bathroom, they gonna go out the way my yellows in the church. Listen, thank you for cleaning that window.
Yeah.
Thank you for cleaning that bathroom. Thank you so much. I love you. By the way, here's a $5 gift card to Starbucks. I love you. They always gonna be on your team. But at the moment you don't acknowledge them, they can turn to Jezebel real quick.
Jezebel can come from a male spirit.
Yes. Because now you ain't seeing all the hard work I do. You ain't seeing all the stuff I do.
You appreciate.
You ain't. My wife changes our house every single season. I walk in, I better pay attention. That's when I want you yellow. Our house changed. You didn't even see I changed the house color. Did you see the rug that's on the toilet bowl on the right hand side?
Okay.
You gotta be looking for it. I'm just saying. I gotta pay attention to detail. She changed her hair. Oh, girl, that hair look good. I love them lashes. Got the new shoes on. Check it out. But if I rush out and we go to church all Sunday, you didn't even notice I had my left pinky toe did. Yellows, reds, and greens. Pay attention to your yellows. Okay?
We can all be more than one color.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. When the yellow gets stressed, they are very sarcastic. So pay attention to what they say.
Don't be tapping on me.
Especially when they upset. My wife's favorite word is, I say, babe, everything okay? I'm good. I'm like, no, you ain't. All right. So let's speed up a little bit. So some of the positives behind these here. The positive behind are amiable. They are very cooperative, loyal, supportive, diplomatic, easygoing, respectful, friendly. Analytical, great thing. They're logical, precise, critical, systematic, thorough, serious, and rational. Creatives, they are very imaginative, outgoing, excitable, spontaneous, persuasive, visionary, and they're promoters. If your wife is a promoter, your husband a promoter, whatever you all are doing, let them promote the family. Family meetings, they don't want us to bring the family together. If you have your kids on the yellows, let them create the family meetings because they're gonna keep. I have a daughter that's an island. She like the brightest yellow ever. So she's the one that does all the partying, all the games, everything, even in the house, even from the church. Reds, independent, forthright, efficient, pragmatic, determined, decisive, results oriented. Okay? Now let's talk about the negative stuff about these people.
Come on, work with them.
Okay? And a green person, the negative part is they are very conforming. If you're married to a green, be careful. My wife was a green initially, and she used to conform to everything I did, right? And the dangers there is they can stop becoming themselves. Okay? Permissive, unsure, dependent, pliable. They just
Whatever makes you happy, honey.
Whatever makes you happy.
Whatever's gonna bring peace, but in the whole time you're dying on the inside.
Yes. Oh my God.
Negatives of creative. They are very undisciplined. Okay? Unrealistic. They ain't gonna be on time for a lot of stuff. Disruptive, because I want the spotlight. Okay? Manipulative. Okay? Because they salesy on everything, and if it's gonna benefit them, they're gonna try to sell you on it. Excitable. Everything is big. They exaggerate, and they have a little bit of boasting because I think everybody should see me. Okay? Analytical. Negative part. Very demanding. Tough to get through. Right? Like my wife, when we're getting into a situation, it's hard for me to, when she got that barrier that I ain't listen to nobody. I can't break that wall, so I have to just pray. Right? Like she said, I literally dragged this, she ain't but 100 pounds. I'm gonna take you to church. And we're gonna take it, we're gonna pray. And you're gonna get in the atmosphere, right? Inflexible, indecisive, stuffy, picky, blues. Everything. The food don't taste right. The fries were hot. Mine ain't cold. Well, you want them hot, what you want? Okay? Critical. Right? Look at them, they're catching the Holy Ghost.
No, you're hitting the nerve.
I'm speeding up a driver. Negative, very controlling, dominating, insensitive, pushy, severe, tough, harsh. This was tough for me because I have more girls. I have one son. I hated him in the left house. It's now my house with all women. My wife, my girls. So I was really tough. Like, you ain't got no emotions. You don't have nothing. So I had to learn how to be emotional or fake it, whatever. Okay. It's the time of the month. I'm like, what that mean to me? So now I know the first day, give them time off. Okay. All right. So under stress or upset, okay, amiable or reluctant, or they were without protest, they're not going to really fight back, okay. Analytical, they're going to avoid. They don't like to fight. They're going to be reserved and distant. You heard my wife, she said, when I get at certain points, I get distant, I don't say anything, okay. Creative, or they're going to attack. Okay, when they stress, they're going to attack. Even they might be wrong all I do. They're going to attack, right? I don't care what you say. They ain't got no, they don't have no facts come out at all. They just fight. Nothing. All right? Okay? Driver autocratic is the same exact thing. It's like you just automatically just take over the situation.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm gonna keep on moving for the same thing. How do you motivate your spouse if they're agreeing? We all together. Okay? It means we're gonna do this, we're gonna have fun, but we're gonna be all together to do this. How do you, if your mate is a yellow, let them have a spotlight. Yes, you bought the Christmas gift for our child this Christmas.
Yeah.
It was you.
Let them know.
You did a great job. It tears you up. A yellow do not like to buy, like a yellow, when you buy your child something, you don't want to say we both bought it. Yeah, you know, we both bought this for you, Charlie. No, mama like, I'm yellow. No, I picked that up because I know your color. So you better say, mama bought this for you this Christmas. Okay? You gotta give them a spotlight. Whenever you're in a situation, listen, spouses, when your mates are yellow, anybody go back to high school reunions or class reunions or family reunion, and it could be a male or the female that comes to you. You better make sure you introduce your yellow to that person.
Yeah.
I get y'all. Don't be talking to this dude and you're like, hey, you know, it was so good to see you with best friends. Yo, yellow back there like,
What was that about?
you gonna introduce me one day? Right? You don't say nothing, it's gonna be a long night for you when you get home. I don't care what kind of cologne you got on. Okay? What makes the analytical motivate them is let them be right.
Yeah.
I said, when my wife, when she turned yellow, I just say, okay, boom, you'll be good.
Because most of the times we are.
Okay? Most of the time you are right.
But for us, we don't, so just to clarify, those who are married to analytics, because depending on the situations, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
It depends on the scene, who do I, like, I don't need to be a driver now, he's a driver. So it depends on where I need to be, I know how to maneuver through the circle. But when I'm an analytical, yes, I will have the information, but if I am wrong, I've learned and learning to be like, you right, my bad. I won't be like, oh, great king, you are so right. Not like,
No, we ain't doing
my bad, you were right, I messed that one up. So we do, people, we know how to apologize, we do, we don't always like to be right.
Okay? If you're married to a driver, how to motivate them, let them have control. Right? A lot of times when we are starting new projects, we doing everything, what's the first person to ask?
What was, I was on that. What'd you say?
Okay, you turn yellow, so you all over. So driver, what motivates them to give them control? Whenever we start something new, what's the question I don't ask? I'll put you on the spotlight. Who's gonna lead?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a big one.
Right. So we started a project, small, big. Like we was doing our back there. I said, okay, before we even start, who's gonna lead?
That's good.
That is.
And that's, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Because normally I'm just like I'm jumping in and leading, but this is me. Because it can be your project. You just like, well, let me know. And I'm asking the question is because if I'm gonna lead, I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna lead.
Yeah, right.
And so now if it's gonna be yours, then I need to follow yours. Like when we even this teaching was a struggle for us, right? Because I'm used to developing stuff on myself. So now when we first started developing chill, the first thing I talked about was behavior. Do you want to see the way I prepare my teachings, or do we want to do the way you do? Now she kicked to green. Listen to this. She kicked him to green. No, you should have been thinking about this already, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and leave. Then I always start all my teaching with case studies. Then she turned blue. You wasting time. Why are we going through? I'm like, hold on now. You say you want to do it my way. I always start my case studies. I research, or retreat, revive, and what was the other one? Restore. I research what those means in terms of marriage. I take my time so I can analyze and go through the data. I look at case studies. How does marriage work? What is pastors? She's like, you taking way too long. It's too much. I'm like, okay, are you going to leave now?
And that's important because we didn't have this in our teaching that we normally talk about too, is because you actually have to pay attention to who you're married. We are both firstborn kids.
Yeah.
So are you married to a firstborn? Are you married to a middle child? Or are you married to the baby? Because we all act different.
Child.
I'm the middle child.
So as the firstborn, we always gonna follow the rules. We always want to be in charge. We gonna tell you what to do. The middle child, they playful. They like, okay, whatever you want to do. So the baby's like, get it done. Don't bother me. I'm over here. Like, it's just, who are you married to? So when he says the outside door project, if I was creative and said, hey, I want to put a gazebo outside and put some flowers out there, I came up with the idea. Whose project do you think it would be? Mine. But he's like, okay, let's go to Lowe's. He get all the stuff. He comes back. He can put the tools out. He putting stuff up. He asked me where I want it. So now we're gonna have an argument because it's like, who's in charge?
Yeah.
Like, what are we
What was
doing?
that middle child after?
The middle child, that's the more playful one. That's the one that sometimes feel overlooked. So they have to fight to get attention because they had one older and one under, and they didn't really get a lot of attention. So they're fighting for attention in everything.
And the baby?
The baby, they don't care. They just do whatever. Nothing applies to them. They can have it their way.
I'm gonna speed this up just a little bit. So, adapting to others. So how do you adapt to an amiable when you're approaching an amiable person? If your mate is an amiable, be relaxed, moderate paced, ask to listen, get to know them, show personal interest, right? Ask for their input and reactions. Anytime you're dealing with a green. When you're dealing with a creative, be upbeat, fast paced, fun, let them talk. Okay? Allow time for socialization, tolerate digressions, give them voices, focus on the big picture. Right? You don't want to go together and give them, hey, this is what you do. Ask them questions of, okay, what do you think about this, right? In time when you're talking to a blue, don't rush them, but don't waste time. Okay, because blues are more, I have my time structure. You paid for an hour. You came in for counseling for an hour. Okay, your time starts at 11 o'clock, Blue. Okay, you got 40 minutes. You 10 minutes late, you got 30 minutes.
True.
Okay, that's for Blue. Okay, so give solid, tangible advice. If your boss is a blue, make sure you go to them with advice. Your mate, don't go with them with stuff that you haven't studied. Okay, don't push and don't sell them hard. A blue hate for you to sell them anything. Okay, do not overpromise. When you come into red, be fast paced. Get to the point quickly. Just tell me the answer. I don't need all this. Just give me the answer. Okay? Use facts, not feelings. I don't care about your feelings. I'm sorry. I'm just not built that way. Okay? Be clear, concise, and brief. That's why I had a hard time being a pastor because I guess pastor would be all Philly lover. I'm like, I ain't. My dog died and my sister. I'm like, good Lord, you got 10 minutes. I do. I'm sorry. That's the first person I'm getting. I said, I need to hire a pastor that
He does, so they sent him to me, because he's checked out, literally, he has 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes of his attention. After that,
He checked out.
I'm like, my mama died, my sister died, and my rent need to be paid. I'm just like, Lord, get past it. I'm like, okay, I need to give you some more time. But that's a negative thing for me as a pastor, but sometimes it's beneficial because I don't carry something. Right? All right? So don't waste time. Offer opinions with brief supporting data. Okay? Anytime you're adapting to a blue. All right? So in terms of retreats, okay, we broke this down. The thing a driver needs to do in terms of retreat is make sure that you're recharged to prevent burnout, because drivers, we go hard.
Vacations.
Vacation, there you go. Analytical person.
that's why you couldn't leave so many.
During retreats, an analytical person needs to make sure that you encourage yourself to be mindful, because you're always thinking all the time, right? Amiable, make sure you reconnect, because amiable, they love you by themselves, they can disconnect, they don't know how to connect, so retreat, make sure you connect. It creates that love for you for other people. And creative, give yourself space for creativity, right? Read a great book, do things like that. That's what retreat means in terms of utilizing these. In terms of restore, a driver, make sure that you address and resolve conflicts. Because you're dealing with stuff all the time, and you can't move forward, so you won't kill a whole lot of bodies on the way. Okay? Analytical, in terms of restore, work through issues logically. Okay? Amiable, promote harmony and forgiveness. This is your type of restore for you. Creative, innovate conflict resolution, because creatives don't like conflict, right? But you want to be innovative in that, because you want to make sure that if you're trying to restore your mate in anything, you got to make sure that you think about how do I innovate or be creative to restore our marriage, right? And then the last one, revive. Driver, make sure you maintain enthusiasm, okay? Because you can lose it. You can lose it because you're driving so much, and you get, like she said, I get bored with stuff really quick. People ask me, how have we been married for 23 years? I say, because she allowed me to have a new wife every 3 years. Y'all look at me quiet. She changed up every year. She give me something new. New hairstyle, new color. She changed her dress. She changed the lipstick. I get a new wife every 3 years. She don't keep it the same. She ain't just keep it black, just bored. She changed up. I like that, right? Okay? Don't be bored.
All right.
Yeah. An analytical person to revive. Make sure you have balance in logic and emotions. Amiable, rekindle emotional bonds, and creative in terms of reviving. Keep relationship exciting. That's what you want to make sure that you always do as a creative. Okay? And I think that's it. It's good?
Amen. It was good.
I know okay. Go ahead.
When you have two people who have yellow, so the yellow is overpopulated.
Everybody wants a spotlight. You got to be able to share the spotlight. And you have to be able to, both of you have to be very good listeners. And you have to have a lot of patience, because a yellow loves to talk a lot. If you don't have patience to listening, a lot of times yellows in relationships, you have more head bumping, because both of you all are not listening to listen, you're listening to respond.
Yeah.
Okay? So go back and listen to the weakness of yellows and really identify, okay, these are the weaknesses of yellow. I don't listen. Attention is all over the place. I'm listening to you when my phone go off or the kids call. I'm like, hold on 1 second. A driver? Man, I hate that. I'm like, no, give me all your attention. I gotta do this. No. I'm giving you my time. Focus what I want you to focus on what I'm saying. All right? That answer your question?
Can I introduce a resource for further? Yes, this has to do with 2 words: adaptability and communication. And what our doctor has presented to us today, you can actually do a self-assessment. And I'll give you the information. Online URL, go to programs.changeocity.com. Again, programs, plural, .changeocity, which is spelled CHANGEOSITY, changeocity.com. You have a self-assessment here that's very thorough. There's an author that put out a book a long time ago called I'm Okay, You're Okay. You need to get that book, because it talks about transactional analysis, and I'm sure you're familiar with that. And that will help you tremendously, because you can do a self-assessment and then use it with your people. So what Dr. Aaron has shared with us today, you can actually use this. It's online, and everyone can do a self-assessment.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for sharing. Go ahead.
Just one question. Seriously, yeah, you talked about the oldest, the middle child, and the baby child. My question is, what is your response to the only child?
Just identify what color they are, right? Just like the test I gave, just give it to them. And then the love language, there's a book about love language for your children too as well, right? And then you can use a social style to use that together. But I would encourage you for only child, 3 things I would do to start understanding how to communicate to them. I would give them the spiritual gift assessment test. I would give them the love language test, and I would do the social style test. Because the spiritual gift assessment test allows them to start determining who they are, who God created them to be, right? And once you understand who they are, who God created them to be, you gotta create space for them to start learning how to use the logical skills in terms of the love language and the social skills at the same time. And your approach with them should be from that approach. Make sense? So now you know if they're reacting from a certain way, you don't have the red mama because you disrespecting me. Oh no, we ain't finna have that. But the red mama's like, okay, what are you responding from? What is your spiritual gift you're coming from? Now let me try to respond to you that way. It takes a lot of thinking, right? Especially mom and dad that came from my type of parents, right? It's like, you don't open your mouth for nothing. Yeah. Shut up. Don't say nothing. Don't open your mouth. You get popped in the mouth. It don't work a whole lot, right? So now in our household, it's like, no, everybody has a voice. Respectful. We know what that means. Open your mouth, because now, if I shut you up and you don't say anything, you can get into the world, and now somebody can be teaching you, and they can be authority, and now you just been talking. Be quiet. I don't want to build that. I'm building leaders in that. We're building leaders in that. So now your child, you want to make sure that you're starting to assess and to build that in them at a younger age. So when they get older, mama gave me room to be myself when I was young.
Yeah.
But I understood clearly what is disrespect though.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah.
That's good.
Any other questions? Okay.
All right. So at this time, we have one last game. Lady Vanessa said we have a few more minutes. So I want you to get with your spouse. And if